The ranking on the Finance Committee, Dr. Ato Forson, also observed that the revenue targets set for the year 2022 are unrealistic, arguing it is overestimated by about 10 billion Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to about 2% of our GDP. He also coined a new phrase for the state of the economy. Listen.
It is important for us to accept that it is indeed an undeniable fact that the Ghanaian economy, all is not well for us. So, Speaker, as we speak, the Ghanaian economy is in an intensive care unit. Mr. Speaker, permit me to diagnose the sickness of the Ghanaian economy. Mr. Speaker, to surprise you to know that the Ghanaian economy today is sick from what we call stagflation, with acute debt overhang syndrome. In other words, you can call it sardosis. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, the Ghanaian economy as we speak is sick from stagflation with acute debt overhang syndrome. In other words, sardosis. Mr. Speaker, why am I saying so? Mr. Speaker, I say so for a simple reason. Stagflation is a situation in an economy where there is slow and jobless real sector growth that is accompanied with high unemployment and rising inflation. Mr. Speaker, we all know that as we speak, there is rising unemployment in this economy. In fact, unemployment has become a national security threat. Again, as generous as I am, I'm a Father Christmas. I'm going to assume that you are going to have growth of about 7%. So, Speaker, all this put together will give you 12.5 billion. So, Speaker, let's assume that they've announced compliance measures. We all know that compliance is not costed in any budget, but let me cost it for them and give them about 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. So, Speaker, I'm sorry to say that the estimations in the budget statement, what is before us, our tax revenue has been over-projected by 10 billion Ghana cedis, representing 2% of our GDP. 2% of our GDP. Hey. Where is your credibility, Honorable Minister? Honorable members, where is the credibility of this government? Where is the credibility of this government? This budget is the most inconsistent, wrongly estimated budget I've ever seen since I became Ghanaian. In fact, since Kwame Nkrumah went to Guinea. Mr. Speaker, I am sad. I'm sad for a simple reason that this government is actually increasing the sickness of this country. Currently, our sickness, we are sick from sardosis. Today, as a result of your wrong projection, if care is not taken, Ghana is going to be sick with sardosis too. And that will mean that we are going to move from intensive care unit to high intensive care unit in the emergency room. The situation is appalling and it should not be accepted.
On his part, MP for Ofuasa Yerebi Kojo Nkrumah outlined 5 reasons why his colleagues should approve the budget. This includes the promise to address the unemployment situation in the country.
This economic policy forecast a huge expansion in the investment in infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, if you go to the appendices, in the year, and my colleagues are asking me where, I will draw their attention. In the year 2021, capital expenditure was 12 billion Ghana cedis. 12 billion. And even after forecasting and spending about 12 billion, every day we see demonstrations in all our constituencies asking for more routes. Every day we see calls on government to spend more for infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, the government has responded by making available in the 2022 budget 16 billion Ghana cedis for infrastructure. This is another reason for which all of us must support this economic policy. You cannot be a member of parliament who tells your constituents that I am going to Accra to fight for infrastructure for you. And when you come to parliament and the government says, I am moving from 12 billion to 16 billion on infrastructure, you say, no, I won't go for it. How can you go for it? And so, Mr. Speaker, the second reason for which we should support this is because this budget, unlike any budget in our history in this republic, forecast the most amount of money to fund infrastructure in this country. And I believe that is why all of us, majority, minority, must support this economic policy which is before us today, Mr. Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker. The third reason for which we should support this economic policy is because it lays out a clear path for boosting local industry. Right from the days of O-level economics, one of the arguments has been to develop the economy, we must do import substitution. Mr. Speaker, we live in an economy where a good number of the things that are consumed are imported. In the last 3 to 4 years, we have made a lot of investment in supporting local industry. The administration has put before this House a policy that says that we will keep the benchmark values that have been discounted. We will keep it. However, for some 40 products which we produce here in Ghana, it will not be in our interest to continue discounting duties on them. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask my colleagues in this chamber some simple questions, and maybe we can help ourselves answer and use that to take a decision. Does it serve us well that we continue to discount the duties on poultry products? No. And that is why the policy is before this House that we should reverse the discounting of duties on poultry products.